Holly Willoughby and Philip Schofield had it all. And by it all, I mean the cushy life of a lucrative This Morning presenting domination for over a decade and the Facebook mums eating out of the palms of their hands. The pair were seemingly untouchable in their perch at the top of the telly food chain. Even after they schmoozed with Boris Johnson and took a selfie with him after dragging Corbyn within an inch of his life and a much maligned spin the wheel to win your energy bills fiasco, they didn't yet fall from grace. Instead, what it took was a dead monarch, an alleged queue-skipping, an affair scandal and the feverish puffing of a lost Mary. 1 year on from the queue, here's a timeline of the downfall of Holly and Phil. When the Queen died, she was lying in state for 5 days so mourners could pass by her coffin and pay their respects. The queue for this became a cultural phenomenon, where people waited days in line to do it, and the media reported on all the wholesome bonding that went on between the mourners, where celebs like David Beckham and Susanna Reid joined the non-famous, except Holly Willoughby and Phil Schofield, who were papped filing past the coffin without joining the queue. They then apologized via This Morning, with ITV explaining they were there to film a segment for their show. The general public were less convinced, and the tide significantly turned, strained friendship. During spring of 2023, rumors started to circulate about the friendship of Holly and Phil, who for years have been very close best friends. Holly was there for all of Phil's coming out saga, and the two famously drunkenly presented This Morning after their annual win at the NTAs, a run that was broken for the first time in years in 2023. They presented the show as normal for 20 days, whilst social media dragged their strained friendship. They ignored the front page news that a fallout had happened when they went through the daily roundup of what was going on in. Phil quits, unceremoniously and without any proper goodbye episode. Philip quit This Morning on May 2 off. In a statement, he said, "I have always been proud to cover fascinating stories on This Morning. But recently, This Morning itself has become the story. Throughout my career in TV, including the very difficult last few days, I have always done my best to be honorable and kind. I understand that ITV has decided the current situation can't go on, and I want to do what I can to protect the show that I love. So I have agreed to step down from This Morning with immediate effect, in the hope that the show can move forward to a bright future." Unwise but not illegal affair. After weeks of TikTok saying Phil had an affair with a young runner on This Morning, he then confessed to the affair publicly. "I did have a consensual on-off relationship with a younger male colleague at This Morning," he said. Contrary to speculation, whilst I met the man when he was a teenager and was asked to help him to get into television, it was only after he started to work on the show. Phil and Holly friendship is no more. Phil unfollows Holly. In recent days, This Morning was booed at the NTAs and Phil has unfollowed Holly on social media, as well as deleting pics of the former friends. 1 year on from the Holly and Phil Q saga, Phil has confessed he doesn't think he'll ever work in TV again, and Holly's once untouchable status has a serious murky stain on it. Latest reports as of last night is that apparently a show is in the works called The Runner, about the whole affair scandal.